Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Can't Be Bothered podcast, episode one of season one. My name's Anna,
And my name is Abby.
and we are so excited to be finally recording the first episode. We can't wait for this journey ahead of us, or at least I'm just speaking for myself, but I know Abby is super pumped too. And we are just super excited to get to know everybody. But before we do that, we want to introduce ourselves. So, to start off, my name is Anna. I have she, her pronouns. I am 26 years old. I'm a nonprofit baddie. I have a background in gender and women's studies, and I share that only to say that I really give a lot of shits about women's stuff and how much that intertwines in with our love of reality TV. And I'm really excited to kind of dive deep into some topics about women and feminism and reality TV. I'm also queer, and so that shapes a lot of my perception of things in the world, and especially around some conversations that have happened in reality TV about queerness. I'm super excited to dive into that topic. But I will pass it on to Abby.
Let me just unmute myself. No, I'm super pumped to be here. How do I follow up on that act, Anna? So, yeah, I'm Abby. I'm a 30-year-old woman. When you said you're 26, I was like, wait, how old am I? Um, yeah, I am a cis het woman. My pronouns are she, her. Like Anna, I work in the nonprofit world. I have a background in justice work, anti-violence work, community services. And so, yeah, there's definitely some overlap, and I'm looking forward to kind of unpacking that and talking about sort of the parallel. I know that's a kind of common theme between the two of us here, so we'll definitely be talking more about that. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. Um, we kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about our goals for the podcast, but before that, we do have an idea for the first episode to kind of introduce ourselves through sandwiches as an ode
Oh,
to
yeah.
something about her. And before even that, just to say too that there will be spoilers in this podcast. Obviously, we're talking about reality TV. So if things aren't adding up, then definitely recommend that you catch up on your Bravo or whatever it is you're watching. But Abby, tell me what we're doing about these sandwiches.
Oh my God, yes. So there is just something about this podcast. We just wanted to dive right in and make a nod to one of our favorite shows. And um I okay, so I've been vegetarian for like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never been a huge sandwich person, but I do have to give a huge shout out to Ariana and Katie at Something About Her because they totally reignited my passion for sandwiches. So I thought it'd be kind of a cool idea if we created a sandwich that was sort of representative of us or like some kind of nod to our personalities as a way to like kind of show a little bit more who we are, but also just eat a fucking delicious sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
So I happen to have right here a delicious sandwich.
And just so everybody knows, like we don't know what we're each making. So this
Yeah,
is me just as much as it to you bitches. So go on.
exactly. Okay, I definitely threw this together like pretty makeshift because we honestly kind of need groceries, but I am a dill pickle bitch. For
Yes, you
anyone
are.
out there who is a dill pickle bitch, I am also not the creative one of the duo here.
Oh,
So the best, no, it's true. It's true. But the best I came up with is what I'm going to call this dill pickle powerhouse sandwich. So I will describe it for you. I don't know how it's gonna.
Holmes is blocking it.
Oh my God, Elizabeth Holmes, get out of the way.
Okay, I
Okay,
see the pickles, so I'm already impressed.
okay. So we have a toasted multigrain sourdough, and some fried tofu that was marinated in pickle brine with a bunch of slices of dill pickle, some Lay's chips
No,
because I need
yes,
that fucking crunch,
yes.
and some creamy dill cream cheese spread on the bread. And this kind of represents me. I feel like it does because
Yes.
it's got the crunch, that that good crunch, and it's got the big fat juicy pickle to represent my big fat juicy brain.
Yep.
you know I feel like it kind of represents me. How'd I
It's
do?
you. It's you. I'm very impressed. Listeners, if you are audio listening only and not video, my mouth is drooling and my jaw is on the ground. That sounds fucking amazing.
You'll
I've never
see.
thought about combining pickle into a sandwich form, only burger form. So I'm very inspired.
You've never had a pickle on a sandwich?
Okay. Okay. Let me back
What
up.
are you
I've had
saying?
a pickle on a sandwich, but I've never thought about centering a sandwich around a pickle theme.
Okay.
Okay. Is
Okay.
that okay?
I guess it's redeemable. I am a little disappointed, but we will move past it.
One of Abby and I's biggest bonds is what's called the Snooki poutine in our town. It's basically, oh, I don't know if we mentioned this, but we're Canadian too. So shout out Canadian girlies.
Oh, fucking right.
Canadian pickle girlies. So it's a poutine with a dill broth, no, dill gravy
Mhm.
with fried pickles on it, and obviously cheese curds. And it is the best thing in the world. So
Oh my
Abby's
God.
let me embrace my dill pickle self. It
Yes.
sounds incredible, especially the dill pickle cream cheese. And you fucking did it with the Lay's chips in there.
I don't. Okay, so I can't like sit down and eat chips. I'm more of a popcorn person.
Okay.
I can only have so many before I start to feel sick, but I love them on food, like on sandwiches and stuff. Okay, should I take a bite of it?
Yeah, you should.
I feel like this is gonna be like ASMR, food ASMR with my
Yeah.
mic.
We cover all of the niche genres here.
This could be gnarly, but let's see if I
Okay.
get some crunch. Okay.
Oh, I looked and the bite had already happened. So not picking up crunch on this side, but I believe it.
I didn't get very much pickle.
Oh, next time. Okay. I this took I contemplated this a lot and I thought long and hard about this and I want everybody to know who I truly am right off the bat. I don't want to give you some fake sandwich that really isn't authentic to who I am. That's not what we're doing here. And you showed up with the same energy of just being authentic to yourself. So I have for you a half-eaten 6-inch sub from Subway. Subway is my pride and joy.
Oh my God.
Subway is my favorite food, I think, of all time. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely up there. It's my comfort food. It's my safe food. It's just my favorite thing. Sandwiches are definitely very, very important to me. And Subway is certainly up there. And when I was talking about this with my partner, they said, you are Subway girl to your core. So I decided to roll with it. I won't lie, I did get a foot long. I already ate half of it prior to this. And I have taken a couple bites of
Yes.
this one. But
Oh, yes.
this is an Italian urban cheese, which is my favorite of all time.
Ooh.
Veggie sub, and I'm not vegetarian, but it's just what I like, with salt and pepper before anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Lettuce, tomato, green peppers, red onion, black olives, extra pickles, with their house vinaigrette, mayo. Yeah, that's just basically my jam. I just love a sub. I feel like in another life, I grew up in New York around a ton of delis. Unfortunately, all that's around me is Subways. So I'm just living vicariously in that way, but It's my favorite food, so that's what I got.
Oh my God. Yeah, you fucking nailed it. Wow.
Well,
That's you.
I'm seeing this like handcrafted beautiful sandwich on your end, and I'm like, dang, I really missed my opportunity. But I have to be real to who I am, and that's who I am.
Exactly. Honestly, that's way more important than like having some fancy ass sandwich. And it's not even fancy. It didn't even crunch.
No, this is not gonna crunch. It's also been sitting here for quite a while. Um,
Oh man.
and I have been taking little nibbles, but the crunch is certainly gone. It wasn't even there in the first place, to be fair. But I love that you added Lay's because while I was checking out, I did eye a little bag of potato chips, and I was like, but I decided
Didn't get
not to.
them?
But we would have been twins if I did that.
Anna.
We're twins in literally every other way, which we will get to. Segue
Ugh, missed
into
opportunity.
how we met while we're in
Mm-hmm.
delicious sandwiches. I kind of want to start off with this if you don't mind,
Please.
because when I think of how we first met, my memory is very vivid of Abby. For you to know Abby, you have to know her presence IRL. Abby exudes boss bitch at energy. When you're around her, you automatically feel like you're that bitch. Whether you think you are or not outside of hanging out with Abby, you feel like you are instantly when you're around her. And when I first met her, I was like, I want to be her friend so fucking bad. I want to like be that way. And luckily, I was given the opportunity to be her friend. So I will never forget that impression. And I feel like I hear that from any new person I introduce Abby to. She just gives off those vibes. And
Oh my
Abby met
God.
at a pretty shitty retail job. So the fact that she was giving it like that at a retail job says a lot.
Oh
Um,
my God. You're gonna
and
make me cry.
I'm dead,
Just
bitch.
kidding, but I am touched.
Yeah, Abby, don't be doing that.
No, we don't cry.
um,
Just kidding.
but yeah, so Abby it gives off very much empowerment, gives off very much, I got this. And it's just a great energy to be around. We connected so much over our shared astrological signs, which really, I think, let me lean into that same energy that you were giving off, that maybe I was giving that off to other people and I just didn't know it yet. So Abby, if you want to maybe talk about our astrological
Oh
connection.
my God. I feel like I shouldn't because I actually learned most of it from you. Like, so first of all, like, how the fuck do I follow up on that? Like, you're like having this experience, and I'm just walking around all clueless, like, but in my own world. Like, oh my God. Thank you.
Oh my God, of course, B. Well, to be fair, we did like I knew of you from hearing from other coworkers, but we went to this like drinks for a coworker of ours that was like moving on to bigger and better
Oh,
things
yeah.
out of our shithole. And I finally met you for the first time. And just the way that you like just were in your comfort zone, I think, especially with like the bar that we were at is like one that we both love. And you were just you weren't like at work. Like you were really just being you. So that definitely probably helped with
Aw.
it.
To be honest, I actually remember that. Okay, so full disclosure for anyone listening, and you will hear this come up multiple times. I have very terrible memory. Like I don't, nothing's wrong. Like I don't know of anything going on in there, but like I just block things out, I guess. But I very clearly remember that party that you're talking about. And I think it was also at a time that I was just not giving a fuck generally. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, whatever. So I'm glad that it worked out that way because it made us, it made our paths cross and be open to meeting you. But um, the thing I can say about when I first met you is we hired Anna with multiple other people, and Anna was the one who lasted and like stuck around and was also a fucking boss bitch. And it doesn't matter if it's retail or if it's just some small task, like you just take it so seriously. And I think that's part of where like the Capricorn moon comes in for us, or Capricorn sun, is like we just are up for the challenge. I
Yeah,
don't know.
truly. I was gonna say like endurance. It's our
Mhm.
like one of our adjectives.
Yeah,
Endure.
honestly, that's probably like the best one. Yeah.
We
But
do
yeah,
be enduring and taking care of shit and doing the damn thing. So
it's true.
I
But
also
yeah, like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel like I can't continue without acknowledging our backgrounds. The longer that time passes, the more I just can't ignore it.
Really, I feel like
Um,
it's just so natural.
you're part of the friend group.
I'm just
Um,
saying no.
behind me is the lovely Archie. At the time of recording this podcast, um, Archie has been unfortunately swept up into the media mix that is his mama Shannon Bedour, who was recently, I think this weekend, or I don't think last night, but this weekend at least, caught up in a DUI situation. I don't want to use the wrong language here, so I'm going to say DUI situation.
Hmm.
And so I did want part of my favorite tweets that I saw online on the Twitter roundup was Archie get behind me to protect the sweet baby angel. So he is behind me. I will fight for him.
We fucking love Archie. Such a perfect angel. You deserve so much better. Poor, sweet, sweet Archie. I have a photo of Jen Shaw, who is currently incarcerated for, I believe, fraud of some sort.
Just this so politely, like currently incarcerated.
She is currently incarcerated, serving time. And apparently she's also in the same prison as Elizabeth Holmes, or has been, crossing paths with our friend Elizabeth Holmes, who, if you don't know who that is, just Google it. I can't be bothered. But they
You
have,
can't be bothered.
this can't be bothered. But they are friends. They've formed a friendship,
Mhm.
and I just think that's the sweetest thing. So I just had to showcase it.
Mhm.
BFFs, BFFs.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I do not find anything on like Twitter X or whatever it is. Like I just scroll on Instagram and whatever shows up on there from whatever other platform. I'm like the old lady who's just like scrolling whatever whatever happens.
You hear about Shannon's DUI a few months later.
Yeah. Like, oh shit, look at this.
Honestly,
No.
though, yeah, Twitter's not really the vibe. I'm definitely big shout out to Bravo Historian or in really any other Bravo meme account on Instagram for keeping me in the loop because I don't know shit about shit. So thank you for letting me see what's the good shit on X,
Wow.
Twitter, without me
I
actually.
don't know shit
But
about shit.
yep,
What
I
a
don't.
period.
So like, not. I'm sorry, I interrupted Abby, but we both have Capricorn suns.
Mhm.
And we both have Aries moons. I think other parts of our charts are different, but those are the big ones.
Well,
That's really what's important.
also, I do have to interject that we were raised by Taurus mothers as
Right.
well. Actually, both my parents are Taurus, but we did get the influence of Taurus energy from a
Yes,
parental
we did.
figure. So I think that's important.
Thank you very much for giving that context. I would not have thought of that. So yes, we were both raised by Taurus energy as little Capricorn babies. I feel like Abby is the most Capricorn person in the world because your birthday is like right at the new year and you couldn't be more Capricorn than that. So I feel like you really embody the essence
Really?
of it. I don't
Wow.
know any other Capricorns. I don't know about you, but I don't know any other ones. I feel like we're kind of few and far between.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe I just don't connect with other Capricorns. I don't know. We're
Yeah.
too similar.
Yeah. So true.
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, I feel like the Aries moon is kind of like, as most of you maybe had heard in our trailer, that we are really bringing the sass with our Aries moon in this podcast. I feel like we're very sassy, we're very quick, we're very reactive at times, and I feel like especially when it's about reality TV, it's in the best way possible. Not
Yeah.
not so much in our like personal lives,
I
but
mean, Depends who you ask.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what
Yeah,
I've really bonded over, and I feel like ever since then, she's just been my fucking twin out here, like reacting to
fucking ride
things
or
the exact
die.
same way I would be. Somebody who will be with me in my little delulus, and it's all good. So
I
that's it.
love it. I love the energy, and it's kind of hard to explain. And like I was starting to say earlier, this, I didn't understand any of this until you and I started working together the same shifts.
Mhm.
And it was the kind of store that had like astrology books everywhere.
I
So
was
we
just
would just fucking sit down and go through it and be like, oh shit. And we would like read each other's charts. And I really learned everything from you, honestly. Like I just wouldn't know because I'm very skeptical about things, but I'm open to it. And like, I was like, oh shit, this is actually pretty accurate. But I think the Capricorn is like the earth kind of grounded, like, we're pretty chill, we're pretty easygoing, we can kind of get along with all types of people.
Mhm.
But then the Aries moon is also the other end of the spectrum, and it's just like, LOL, like I'm just gonna casually fuck that up for you here. Let me just
Scorpion
mix in
or
some,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, 100.
spicy, bratty, like, but we get away with it too. We're just like
Yeah, because we're
bratty and silly.
Capricorns.
Yeah,
We're
and
smart. That's how
and
that
then we,
happens.
yeah, we come back down. We reason with people. We rationalize.
Yep, exactly. One time
Oh,
talking to my mom because all of the women in my family also have Aries moons. Just to kind of give you some context or some weird shit going on my end.
holy shit.
And my mom, who, like Abby said, is a Taurus sun, has an Aries moon. And I was kind of making this joke one time about how if you combine the elements of your sun and moon, what they would make. So, for example, another family member of ours is this water sun with a fire moon. So it's like that's like boiling water. And so when I said like, oh, we're both earth signs with fire moon, she was like, so we just scorch the earth we walk on? And I was like, well, that's one way. I was thinking like a campfire, but that's another that's another way of putting it. Sure.
Depends on the day.
Depends
Are
on
we
the
gonna have a campfire or are we gonna fucking scorch the earth today?
literally forest fire up in here.
Ugh.
Okay. Well, I also wanted to talk a little bit more about our podcast goals because I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to the connections that we're going to make on this podcast. And really, my goal with this is I want people to be able to listen to this while they're getting ready for the night out. Like, if you play us while you're getting ready, you're wanting to talk about the shit that you watched on TV this week and just have some laughs before we start our weekend off, that's what I want to be for you. I want this to be a fun space. I want this to be celebratory of shit that bonds us together. I want to laugh. And I'm really excited to kind of see engagement from everybody on this and just kind of get excited about this shit because I care about it a lot. And I also really want to dive into bigger conversations about gender studies and just kind of topics around women and feminism and how reality TV can really be a platform to kind of see how those things are happening in our current culture. Because I feel like a lot of those discussions can sometimes be like a reflection of the past and less of what's happening right now. And I think reality TV
Mm.
can really be a really great canvas of that. And also just connect with my main bitch. Like we don't live in the same town. As you can see, we're on
Yeah.
Zoom together. We don't see each other all that often. And this is kind of the conversations that we have in private anyway. So we thought might as well just turn on a camera and let other bitches be part of the conversation. So yeah, this weekly sounds like a good time to me.
Oh my God. Instead of just like voice memos in the kitchen,
Yeah.
voice memos in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. We
Did
just
you hear that? Did
podcast
you?
with each other, so might as well just do it to everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like that's what we talked about is we were already doing this. So why not like share it? And we have a small little group of pals who, watches reality TV and is able to connect, I guess, on the subject. But it's nice to be able to like, I guess, cast a wider net, let's say. Like
Yeah,
just
love that.
cast it. Yeah. But I'm excited too. Like, I agree. It's good to have the time to like connect, especially with the winter coming up. That's
Mhm.
like a pretty dark time. So, you know, I feel like talking about reality TV, it just we have always been able to like connect deeper meaning to it, and like because of our backgrounds and because of our, I think, education, um we just are always wanting to like do the deep dive, and so it feels awesome to have someone who's able to have those conversations, wants to have those conversations, and just kind of put it out there where it's not always just the surfaced like, oh my god, did you it's actually doing more of a deep dive, but we're still going to give you all that surfaced, juicy shit, don't worry. um
Don't worry,
but
Liz. Don't worry.
it's a combination of both.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be times where we kind of like ebb and flow depending on what's going on. Like we had said a little while ago, if we had the podcast during Scandal, that would have been a completely different era versus
Hmm.
like other just funny shit that's happening online. So I think just depending on what our favorite celebrities are kind of going through, we will go through it with them and just let the podcast take us where it needs to go. So
Yeah, exactly.
my, I feel like to give some context, because we're talking about how much we love reality TV, for me, the reason why I feel so connected to it in a lot of ways, I really connected with reality TV when I was going through a very difficult time. I want to say in 2019 was when I first got a little bit more into it. And then I took a break during the pandemic a little because I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I kind of got back into the funny shit when a lot of filming got back into the swing of things because I know a lot of shows took a break during that time. But it really was just a source of laughter for me. It was also a great way for me to see empowerment amongst women, having really honest conversations about aging and beauty standards, and also how aging and how that impacts relationships as well, both platonic and romantic. That's my cat. If you hear my cat Alfie, should have said at the beginning. We both have animals that are going to be interrupting. So that's my little baby
Mi
Alfie.
sobrino.
Thank you. Yeah, so I really connected, particularly with Real Housewives, in the sense of just learning more about different stages of life, which sounds a bit more dramatic than I mean it to be. When I think of like outside of my 20s, because being a Capricorn woman, I feel like I think of what it means to be like in my 30s and in my 40s and my 50s and my 60s. And it was just great to kind of have that representation and I feel like really honest conversations in a really real way, and it wasn't too overproduced or like fake stories. It just felt more honest. And I started off actually watching Real Housewives way back in high school. I started watching New York, and I loved Bethany Frankel back in the day. She, to me, was like the embodiment of empowerment. And when she had her little podcast, I just thought it was so cool to see this like woman be an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. And I just thought she was such a pinnacle of greatness, which that has changed. But that's for
There's
another
room
day.
for change.
Absolutely. But yeah, I started off watching Beverly Hills and Potomac, and I feel like those two casts really were uplifting during a difficult period of my life. And it connected me with friends in real life. Like Abby had said, we have friends in our real world that love this stuff. So to kind of connect with other women about this was really fun for me. And I just want to continue those connections with other people online and laugh and share memes and just continue the funny vibes. So that's my relationship with reality TV. And I'm looking forward to it evolving because there's so much content out there. It's never
Oh
gonna.
my gosh. Yeah, it's always changing. There's always something new, but I like how you are able to connect it to what's happening in the world outside of that. Like there's just so much nuance, so much overlap, and I just love that we are looking at that. For me, I definitely had kind of a different experience. I didn't really discover reality TV until much later in life. Um and that was something that you also kind of introduced me to. I think just with enough nagging from a couple of friends of like, you gotta watch this. And like, I will just share that my upbringing was like pretty sheltered, and we really limited like our exposure to pop culture, media, anything like that. Like we really didn't have access until I was in like probably grade 9. And I definitely had like the same, I guess, judgments about people on reality TV, all those like trash shows. And there is so much judgment about it. Like it can almost be kind of isolating to say that you watch reality TV because then people are like, you do? Like, just like, okay. Um, but I think it's been really eye-opening, and like Orange County was actually the first one that I ever watched, and you do get like really attached to their characters and just seeing their own journeys. Like I remember probably the earliest that I really connected with was Tamra in a way, because I remember she was with that like really shitty guy, and that was something that I really related to at that time. And I just saw her as like really struggling and just coming out of that so much stronger. And just seeing her go through that journey was like, holy shit, like there's actually, a lot of depth to this.
Mhm.
So that was pretty eye opening just to like, I don't know, just get attached and see that there's so much more to it than I thought. And also, honestly, just like the fashion and the laughter, like
Yeah.
being a nonprofit, doing a lot of heavy work in my career, it's been a great way to like have fun and have like some joy and some laughter and some lightness that I can just kind of disconnect, but it's still stimulating enough that I can like pay attention. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of been my journey with it.
I love how you talked about Tamara. I didn't know that. And I feel like that gives me more of an appreciation for Tamara because it's so true. Like, because I'm currently rewatching older seasons of OC, and right now she just got engaged to Eddie. And, as much as I feel like we may talk about Tamara, if we kind of summarize her and how she handles conflict is one thing, but if you take her as a person and as a person on the show, I don't even want to say character is a good word for it, but I feel like they really are themselves. So it's
Yeah.
character, for lack of a better term, that she really has like overcome so much, and it was actually really empowering. And I did notice myself kind of thinking about that when she had said, I'm never gonna let another man tell me what to do. When Eddie kind of like tells her a little bit in the beginning, like, oh, I don't really know if I want to do this, she's very firm, like, I did that, I'm
Yeah.
not doing that again, I'm choosing something else. And I mean, yeah, I feel like Tamara really embodies that. I feel like for me, a similar story to yours would be Erica.
Mm.
Erica for me was just this woman who would sit in on these really formal dinner parties and really just shake shit up and just did not care what people thought about her, but also still remaining this like level of, I don't even know if this is the right word, but like classy in some way. Like she still presented herself in a way that like was accepted in that group, but was still just so herself and just did not give a fuck. And I found that to be really empowering, and just like I loved how she moved in the world, and I thought it was great. And when she was going through her separation with her husband and how she decided to leave him, it just really showed me how like you can think one way about a woman who's like very strong-minded, but could be going through so much behind the scenes. And that's something that am always learning time and time again.
Yeah.
And she's just so empowering. I think Giselle too was somebody who I loved seeing didn't put up with a ton of shit and was totally comfortable, going to the next phase of her life without a man, and just was totally okay with that. And I love that.
Giselle was from OC, sorry?
Potomac, sorry.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yes. Sorry.
I loved how, and people always like made fun of her for her outfits, and she just didn't give a fuck. And I also kind of like thought that her style was like maybe not nothing that I would wear, but I appreciated the colors and the texture, and
Yeah.
she just was herself. Like I just thought she was really empowering. Um, yeah, so I love that we both have those women that we first initially gravitated towards and kind
Oh
of
my God.
resonated with. And I just love
Absolutely.
I would love to keep talking about all the different ways from every single series that we resonate with and why.
I know. Yeah, it comes up in so many different layers, eh?
Yeah.
And just to see them be themselves, like Giselle always hams it up, Erica doesn't give a fuck. Like there's just so many of the housewives who just are there, and what you see is what you get. And I just really admire that. And it's honestly really fun to watch. And like, I love that you get behind the scenes and you get to see everyone's reactions and you get all the context because I think we're both like pretty nosy bitches. We want to
Oh yeah.
know everything. And
Yep.
so I feel like it kind of teases at that little need that we have, you know?
100%. I feel like that's a great way to kind of introduce our topic for next week. So we're going to be talking a little bit for episode 2, season 1, about the development of Real Housewives and kind of how the franchises have really developed over a period of time, how housewife casting has really changed from the first couple seasons of Real Housewives to now, the development of how we think about how the idea of Real Housewives has changed, stay-at-home moms has changed due to the shows. And so I'm really excited to talk more about OG Real Housewives and how it's changed a lot. So please tune in to next week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we look forward to gabbing some more.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited. Should we take a big bite of our sandwich to close us
Yes,
out?
let's do it.
See if I can get the pickle crunch this time. Ready?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Uh,
No, but
God damn it.
I felt it in my heart. Pickle crunch is pickle crunch hits different, and I
We
felt.
all know what it sounds like. You just have to tap in.
Just play that in your.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll
Bye,
see you
bitches.
next week.
See you next week.